Let's talk about Worf.
Oh,
TV
okay,
series.
yeah.
This is a weird little byline in this article. Shane, you want to?
It didn't get its own thing, man.
I don't understand. Hey, someone tell me how you can write an entire article about this Kurtzman deal and gloss over the idea of the planned Worf-centered series. I don't understand,
Right.
Shane. Tell me what's happening here.
Yeah, this was actually really strange because they go through this, and we saw this inside the Kurtzman gets his extended contract thing. And they're just talking about it. They're kind of going through it, and all of a sudden it says they're talking about an idea was pitched about a Worf comedy. So now hold on here. Now that's where it's like stuck me, like jabbed me in the throat. I'm like, comedy.
What?
Wait a second. Whoa, what?
By the way,
and I'm like looking through it.
Worf TV series should ever be a comedy. There can't be comedy in it.
Well, I mean, there are some comedic things that Worf does, but they're moments like, when he was a merry man in that Q episode, right? There's moments that Worf does funny things, but the reality is, let's be a little more realistic. Michael Dorn has basically been a voice actor for the most part since coming off of Star Trek. He did both DS9 and he did TNG and he did the movies. But other than that, if you go back and look through his IMDb, it's mostly voice acting, almost everything, which, God bless him. He has an incredible voice, which makes sense, right?
He does. Yeah. I keep contacting him, trying to get him to do Popcast videos, but
well, yeah, that would be cool.
My call. Imagine that. Imagine Marco Dorn doing a narration for one of our videos.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah. Voice. It's hard for me to almost picture him. You see him as an actor, right? It's hard for him to be in other things because you're just expecting Worf whenever you see him do anything.
Right.
He looks really so much more different than his character.
Yeah, he does.
But apparently, so just to give you some more information about this. So now I was messing with it. I lost it. Okay, so this is what they say. There was also a weirder idea mentioned. I like that they put weirder in here. There was a weirder idea mentioned in the Times piece. Kurtzman pointed to a pitch from writer-producer Graham Wagner, who wrote the Short Treks episode The Trouble with Edward, and is best known for his work in The Office, Portlandia, and Silicon Valley, all good shows. The Wagner pitch centered on the character of Worf, and Kurtzman calls the concept incredibly funny, poignant, and touching. Michael Dorn has apparently been actively seeking a new Worf-centered series for years, but this concept is quite different. So that scares me. When you say it's quite different, that makes me nervous, You can be a little different, but would you actually take Worf and make it a sitcom? Could you have a Klingon sitcom, bro?
Oh my God.
Could you imagine that?
The idea of that makes me angry. I'm not gonna lie. Like, Klingon is supposed to be awesome. Like, yes, there's some comedy, but they're supposed to be badass, bro.
Right. Now, could they do it like some sort of hybrid? I mean, look, it's one of the guys who worked on The Office, Portlandia, and Silicon Valley. All good shows.
Yeah, hilarious.
Right?
Honestly, The Office and Silicon Valley are top tier comedies, and I'm sure Portlandia is too. I only watched a couple episodes, but the Silicon Valley and The Office are shows that I can watch every year. I can binge watch both those shows every year for the rest of my life, and I'm happy with that.
Yes, yeah. Well, he did say, now Kurtzman does say the concept is incredibly funny, poignant, and touching. So maybe it's not just a comedy. Maybe it's lighter toned. Maybe.
I don't know. While I'm hopeful, I'm also like when they led with comedy, that sort of like that stabbed me in the neck a little bit, the way you did. I don't like I love the writer of Silicon Valley in The Office. I just don't. I'm just so worried. Discovery has tainted me to the point where every time someone talks about new Star Trek, I go, "Ooh, that sounds like it could be a problem if they lean into that aspect of that comment too hard."
That's true. Well, Kurtzman also said this. He said, if it were up to me only, which apparently it's not, I would be pushing the boundaries much further than I think most people would want. I think we might get there. Marvel has actually proven that you can. Now, I'm not sure what Marvel pushed the boundaries on. It says, but you have to build a certain foundation.
That scares me. Are they talking about
Right?
Captain Marvel and all that? Because that's not pushing boundaries. That's selling your series down the river. I
don't know. I mean, that's just one. I don't know, but it says maybe they're talking about all the TV shows for Marvel. You know what I mean? How they're doing all these TV shows. It says, but you have to build a certain foundation in order to get there, and we're still building our foundation. So yes, what I believe this means is what he's talking about is they need to put out all these products, so then they can build upon those products. So it's like you build this foundation, and then you can build out upon that. So you can make more TV series based on more things from this foundation.
That's fair.
Yeah, but the Worf thing, I thought it was weird that we're not getting Worf in Picard.
Yeah, I did too. If you're gonna have a cameo, that's one of the cameos you should have. First off, the guy still looks really young, and once you put the makeup on him, he doesn't actually change. His age is completely the same.
Yeah, so I thought, that's a really good point. I don't know why they haven't, and maybe the reason they haven't brought him in is because they want to do something different. Maybe they've got this pitch to do this Worf series.
Man, he is so young looking still.
And I got to tell you, what makes me think they're going to do this series, bro? Right here. Kurtzman calls the concept incredibly funny, poignant, and touching. Now, those are compliments.
Right.
It's not, and Kurtzman says, oh, we'll see what happens. Right? It's him like saying, this sounds like a really good thing to do. And guess what? He's the guy who gets to make the decision. And guess what?
Mean?
Poignant means like touching. That means sincere.
Evoking a keen sense of sadness or regret.
Yeah. So it's,
I regret making this TV series.
It's funny.
I regret taking this job. I've had nothing but death threats for 3 years.
So what he's saying is this TV show is basically bipolar. Yeah, it's funny and it's sad. All right. Right.
Man, in like 10, 20, 15 years, regardless of what happens with Star Trek, I don't care what happens. I mean, I care, but what I'm talking about in relation to this theory here, in 15 years, regardless of how good or bad it is, I need to see a Alex Kurtzman interview where he talks about his time during the Star Trek franchise. I want to see a no holds barred, like no NDAs, just him able to talk about his time in Star Trek. I want to see him laugh, cry, break down in sadness, all in the same interview. Guys.
I've never felt so abused, right?
Oh,
who knows?
Okay.
So, well, who knows? What do you think? I mean, so I would like, it's funny. I always say any old character, bring them back, but it does make you nervous. Like,
well, this was his pitch back in, the beginning of this year. He wrote it. So they said, could you give us the elevator pitch? And he says, basically the script I wrote was, instead of looking at the Klingon Empire from Starfleet, we look at the Starfleet from the Klingon Empire. And it's been going on for decades. The Klingon Empire just can't go on. It's the Russians, basically. And they decide that they have to either die with a sword in their hands or go extinct or change with the times and become something different. And Worf is the guy who says, we have to change with the times. That is the mark of a warrior. Shane, I can't say it the way Worf does. Only you have this voice. Say, that is the mark of a warrior.
Yeah, you'd be like, and that is the mark of a warrior. Yeah. Something like that.
He goes on to say, and so two things happen. They start letting other races into the Klingon world.
What? I don't know about that.
The only way they can do that is by letting in Starfleet officers. That's sort of the way it's done. We'll let in other people, but first Starfleet officers, because we understand Starfleet. They're soldiers. We're soldiers. The second thing they do is to their resources oh my God, this is so hard to read. Are limited and dwindling because the Klingon universe is just like the Federation. They have planets and worlds and societies that they own, but they do it in a brutal way. And so they have to go out to every one of those worlds and give them their freedom or try to work with them with something of an whatever. It doesn't work for Klingons.
Well, it'll be interesting because if they do something like that, the Klingons to me have always seemed very, I mean, I guess humans are very similar too, but Klingons have, they've kind of given them this baseline identity, and you get a little bit from a few of the different actors where their characters kind of, or their personalities are a little bit different and adjusted, but there's a very similarness to all of the Klingons. And it would be very hard to do a Klingon centered TV show with a bunch of Klingons. I think people might get a little bored of that quickly.
Right.
But if they were to infuse it with other things, that might be fun. You know, it'd be interesting to see how the High Council works, and then, you know, them trying to work like with the Federation and maybe not the Romulans, but maybe somebody else.
I would love to see Worf as captain of his own ship, and it's like a ship where it's manned by both Starfleet and Klingon Empire officers. That
could be cool. We can, you know, watch him eat a lot of ga. It could be fun. Or maybe he's the High Council. Maybe he's the maybe he's the leader of the Klingons.
You know what? In hindsight, I don't think we need a Klingon TV show.
He's like, never mind. Just bring Michael Dorn back.
Yeah, as much as I like the idea of it, the more you think about it, like the episodes of TNG where it was like centered in the Klingon High Empire were not great.
They weren't, were they?
Klingons are cool. The whole idea is cool, but like there's so much. They're better as like a garnish or like
it's a flavor. It's a spice.
Yeah, it's a spice, but too much pepper. If you had to write the pitch right now, tell us what that pitch would be. And
I got it. It's Worf, and he's on Risa. That's it. The entire show is Worf.
100%. I would watch that. You know what? And make and put it on the Cinemax version of Star Trek. Rate that thing NC-17 or whatever,
so we can really find out why Deanna Troi liked Worf.
I'll tell you what, because Klingons have 2 penises. That's canon.
All right,
that's canon.
Yeah.
You think I'm joking?
We'll have to share that.
It's canon.
That needs to be a whole episode on its own.
Klingons have 2 penises.
Okay, explain yourself. Keep going.
Okay. This is too much.
It's now that we're here. I mean, you already brought it here.
Here's a
now
problem.
We got to answer.
Here's the problem. If I explain myself, I have to go to parts of the internet that will get me banned from YouTube.
Trouble.
Well, let's just look it up here. I'll show you this picture.
Wait, what? No, we're not showing.
No, not at the
I'll show you this picture of both of them. Check it out. One is like a precursor. The other one finishes the job. Oh.
Yeah, it's okay. Yes, okay. Here we go.
That's why it's members only section, guys.
Here we go. Okay, look at this, guys. Turns out that double Klingon penis was a Star Trek canon before Discovery.
Why are you looking this stuff up?
In the season finale of Star Trek Discovery, one Klingon just couldn't hold it in the Orion colony of Kronos. The Klingon was briefly glimpsed peeing on a wall, but the dude did have 2 streams instead of 1. Writers on Klingon has confirmed that the idea was not all that new. If you're upset with this, blame Worf. Klingons have double organs that was established in the Next Generation.
Oh, yes. You're right. You are right.
They have They have redundant organs.
You are correct.
Right. So they have 2 penises. That's why they don't love Worf so much.
But they don't have 2 heads. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. So, but it's interesting.
Is the head an organ?
Oh, dude, is this why? Well, it holds an organ. They don't have 2 brains.
But look at this. Look at this GIF, though. Look at this GIF. How do I make it bigger? Here we go. Ready? 2 streams.
Oh my gosh!
Yep.
Whoa!
Ready? 2 streams.
See that? You know how that accidentally became canon? You know what happened is they gave this guy a squirt bottle, right? And he's like, "Oh crud, it's not working." And everybody's like, "Action!" He's like, "Shh!" And he's like, "Just pull it." And all of a sudden, a bunch of streams come out, and they're like, "Oh, it's canon." They got multiple penises.
I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense, dude.
I mean, sort of. I mean, it does. I mean, he always said, you know, what Worf was afraid to be with human women because he was afraid he would kill them or hurt them or something, right? That was part of it.
This video,
I'm not wrong.
This video 100% it has the yellow check mark thing.
No, well, who cares? Who cares? Who cares?
Okay. wait. Let's see if I remember said anything about this. Nope. Oh, wait, actually, Jeremy had some. He said kindergarten Klingon. Worf teaches daycare at Starfleet Academy.
Oh my gosh, that would be hilarious. Oh my
watch
gosh.
that in a Heartfleet, bro.
Stop crying.
Heartbeat.
Stop
crying, human.
You need to act like a warrior.
All right, we've murdered this. Let us know what you guys think below. Let us know what you guys think about a Worf-centered Klingon Star Trek show, and how many appendages you think that they have.
Just put the number in there. You don't have to write appendage.
Literally, it's number 1, 2, 3, 4.
4. Yeah, that would be a little bit overkill. Yeah.
Thanks for watching. To see the full conversation, become a member of the Popcast family. Use the link in the description below, or go to our channel and click the join button. Select your tier, and we'll see you at the next show.